My monthly recurring revenue dropped $78 in 2 days. My AI told me why. My views hit all-time highs, but 0 new trials and 0 new paid customers. It said the words distribution anxiety, and the worst part is it was right. Today I'm going to show you the real system, not theory, the actual files, the actual agents, the actual patterns they surfaced about my life. My partner Yassy and I built parallel second brains. Her AI ran a skill against her entire vault and found 6 patterns about our lives that we didn't even know existed, and one of them was about me. The power of this is mind-blowing, and it made me realize something. Your second brain, your Obsidian vault, your Notion workspace, it's a graveyard. They're dead notes that you will never look at again. So here's what we're going to cover. I'll show you the alive version, what the AI found out about us, why I'm losing money while growing faster than ever, and why I think this becomes the thing you literally cannot live without. Let's start off with something that'll piss off the productivity community. Your second brain, it is a graveyard. Most people, they will capture notes and never look at them again. You've got some Obsidian vaults with 500 notes. You've got a Notion dashboard with these beautiful templates, guilty. And then you've got 0 emergence. What does that mean? Nothing connecting those ideas, nothing surfacing patterns, nothing telling you what you've missed. Tiago Forte taught us how to capture notes. August Bradley taught us to organize them. Ali Abdaal made it mainstream, but none of them showed you how to actually take your second brain and make it alive. The difference isn't capturing the information. The difference is maintenance. Let me explain. I now have 14 AI employees, and they're literally just files on my computer. There are a bunch of different skills here for different purposes, but a lot of these have names, and each named file is an agent. It's an AI employee. It has instructions on what to do, what not to do, best practices, all of that stuff. 14 AI employees, and then every single one of them reads from a daily second brain file before they do anything. This is the file structure: skills, shared references, daily files, performance data. Every employee has a folder with their own references, their own learning log, and their own constitution. Bevan is employee 0, and Bevan reads everything first and then writes an intelligence brief. Remy then pulls highlights from Readwise. Sage, the script writer, writes the scripts. Aria analyzes performance, and they all share context through these files. The key thing here, and this is a quote from my partner Yassy that stopped me, she said, quote, "These files don't degrade because you set up agents to make sure they don't degrade, whereas memories, they do degrade over time." And other builders are doing this too. On X, I've seen someone build a Telegram journal agent that pings every 30 minutes, logs to Notion, and that journal memory feeds into their newsletter agent. So what we're talking about here, same architecture, different implementation. Another crazy fact, 251 highlights were scanned for this video alone. Out of all 251 of these, 5 qualified above a 7 out of 10 rating. And that is the difference that I'm talking about here. It's not just capturing the highlights into Readwise, it's active intelligence. So we come back to this diagram, and the main question we're asking here is it's not how many notes you've got on the left-hand side in a graveyard, it's whether anything is connecting them without you having to manually do that. If you have not opened your second brain in a week and nothing in it has changed, it is a graveyard. Be honest with yourself. When was the last time your second brain showed you something you didn't already know? If you want something like this for your content, that's what Threadify does. It reads your voice, your audience, your work, your style, and it writes content that doesn't just sound like you, it is you. You can sign up for free, no card required. Check it out, threadify.app. It's in the description below. Okay, now here's where it gets wild. Yassy, my partner, she's been building her own second brain inside of Obsidian and completely parallel to mine. She found a Craig Eisenberg video about Obsidian skills, set up a skill called Merge that runs against her entire Obsidian vault. The system came back with 6 patterns. Some she was aware of, some she wasn't. One of those patterns was called the Lenny node. Here's what it said. Lennox Saint appears in 4 of 4 daily files across brand-owned media captures and observations. Every significant strategic move in your vault traces back to a conversation with Lenny. Pause and let that sit for a second. Her AI told her that every important decision she makes traces back to our conversations. I didn't know that. She didn't know that. The AI found it. And the system flagged the obvious risk inherent in that as well. It said, if this breaks due to travel or a disagreement, different priorities, your idea pipeline stalls. Because if I am at the beginning of that pipeline for Yassy, and for whatever reason, I'm not there to have a conversation in the moment, then the ideas don't flow through the rest of the pipeline. That is wild to hear, that your partner's AI says your entire strategic output depends on one relationship. Here is a thing that I've not seen anyone else do. Our second brains cross-reference each other. My YouTube scripts feed into her content system, her insights feed back into my research, and it's coordinating our efforts now because it knows that it has that context. I've not seen anyone else doing this with their partner. Yassy said something that changed how I think about all of this. Most people build a memory, capture and store. That is the second brain graveyard. That's it. But a brain has synapses, active connections that fire between ideas across time. The human brain cannot do this at scale. It can't connect an idea from 5 years ago with a YouTube video from last week and a tweet from last month for one idea. What I'm talking about can. Alex Finn said it well. Instead of telling your AI what to do, ask it what it sees. That's what merge does, one of the second brain functions. That's what these agents do. They don't wait for instructions, they surface what you're blind to. So yes, these patterns are cool, the cross-brain stuff is wild, but one pattern really hits different because it's not about our relationship or this whole second brain system. It was about my problem, and the AI named it. Here are the real numbers, no fluff. Monthly recurring revenue at $1,714, down from about $1,800 a couple of days ago. 638 total users, 64 active in the last 24 hours, 31,000 views in the last 28 days, 798 subscribers. But despite all of these views, none of these people came from YouTube. 5 days into March, I'm losing roughly 35% of revenue every month. Take home after all of this is just under $300, 10 months of runway. Best growth this channel has ever seen, but the business is shrinking. The crazy part is the second brain surfaced this pattern. It said a recurring tension between building capabilities and failing to convert to revenue. This shows up in 3 distinct sources. And it called that issue of failing to convert the capabilities into revenue distribution anxiety. Quote, this is from a second brain system that I've created. Implication, you're world-class at building agent systems. The gap is bridging them to paying users. Your vault says this repeatedly, but you haven't made a decision to shift focus. The AI system diagnosed the content creator's problem. The system told me about itself. And you want to know the wildest part about all of this? This morning, this actual morning, I tried to do a live stream about this exact topic. Second brain oxygen mask. I sat there for 20 minutes, 0 people showed up. That is distribution anxiety in real time. It is sitting in a room with the best content that you are capable of producing, and there is no one there to hear it. So I did what builders do. I shut down the stream and I made this video instead. Point being, I am not going to pretend that I've solved this. I clearly have not. The funnel is broken, 10K views per week, 0 new emails, 0 new trials, 0 new paid customers from this whole system. The moonshot goal is 1,000 paying members by the end of the year. And the more sort of realistic one is $10,000 monthly recurring revenue by the end of the year. To hit that moonshot, we need 96 new members per month. Based on that, I'm at negative growth. But this is what a living second brain does. It's not just storing your wins, it's storing these patterns. And when the data says something uncomfortable, it tells you. Tommy Shaughnessy, he's an investor. He wrote something that hit me. The harsh truth is you need to be using AI every day to outperform and grow, or you will be fired. The same applies to second brains. If yours isn't actively diagnosing your problems, like mine has, you are flying blind. That's the difference between a graveyard and an oxygen mask it makes you breathe. So now you know what the AI found. Now you know the real numbers. The question is, what do you actually do with all of this? Yazzy's second brain said something to her that changed how I think about Threadify, my SaaS. It said, what you're building for yourselves right now is the next version of Threadify. You're just not calling it that. That really hit me because I've always felt like I'm tinkering, building skills, building agents, building this system. And the AI told us it's not just tinkering, it's the product. It's the prototype of the next version of Threadify. Everything we build for ourselves, the second brain architecture, the agent pipeline, the pattern detection, this becomes the next Threadify feature. Here's the thesis, and this came from Yassy at 2 a.m. this morning as we were building out and expanding our second brains. This second brain infrastructure is what makes every output that is created from it not sound like me, it is me. It's the most authentic form of expression I can create because it's capturing the raw data, the voice memos, the transcripts, the meeting notes, all of it. That stuff is content gold. That is second brain gold. My job now is to package that up into Threadify so that the users have access to their own content second brain that just repurposes what's in that second brain into content. That is the purest form of expression. Imagine this, Threadify agent messages you Monday morning. Hey, what's up? You want me to write your week of content? You say, yep. And then 10 minutes later, agent comes back. It says, sweet, done. That's 50 posts scheduled and written for you in your voice. Remember, it doesn't just write the content here. It knows your patterns, your audience, your voice. It reads everything you've ever captured. It is your second brain. This is so much more than just a scheduler or a tool. It's an oxygen mask. I've been the guinea pig. Yassy has been the guinea pig. All this tinkering with second brains and skills and agents, it led to the idea because we tested the architecture on ourselves first. We're literally doing that right now. You are watching the research and development happen in real time. Every video you're seeing the next version of Threadify being built live. Here is what I want you to take from all of this. Honestly, your second brain should scare you a little bit. It should know things about you that you didn't know. If it is just storing nodes that you'll never look at, It's a graveyard. Mine told me I have distribution anxiety. It was right, and that diagnosis is worth more than 500 perfectly organized notes. This is V1 of the second brain inside of Threadify. If you're ready to come and watch me build out V2 live, in public, raw, messy, try Threadify free, no card required, links in the description, and subscribe. Doing 3 videos a week, real numbers, real building. Don't be a dropkick. See you in the next one.